All right, welcome to Opening Bid. I'm Yahoo Finance's executive editor, Brian Sozzi. Now let's make some money and get a lot smarter. I know both of those things are going to happen right now. We're in Dreamforce, San Francisco. I think this is my 5th Dreamforce, and a very special guest with us here today, and that is Salesforce co-founder and CEO Marc Benioff. Marc, always great to see you. Wow, 45,000 people in the Moscone Center.
It's
Holy cow.
Everyone's back.
Yeah.
More motivated than ever, more inspired.
Did you ever think that you'd have 45,000 people today and really driving technology that
not consistently like this, and also just focused on changing people's lives. Mm-hmm. You know, we're really showing them how their career can go forward, how they can get to another level on the Salesforce platform. And just as we've guided them through the cloud and social and mobile and data and AI, we're now introducing them the world of agents.
But it's amazing to see everybody so engrossed and focused on business improvement via technology. It's not like something I see at other events, something that look like this.
Our total focus is the success of our customers, and that's why not only are we introducing Agentforce here, which is going to help them to automate all these amazing things in their company, their sales, their service, their marketing, with autonomous agents in a way that they never have been able to before. And they're not going to have to DIY it. They're not going to have to buy a model and buy a hyperscaler and buy a database and buy an AI engineer and hook it all up. We're going to do it, boom, right now on the floor. And at our launch pad, we have hundreds of customers already who are live with these agents. And this is the first time in the history of our industry that agents have been deployed at scale, and we're doing it right here at Dreamforce.
We talked when you reported earnings about 2 weeks ago, and it was the first time I heard anybody talk about agents. I'm like, what is Marc talking about? But since then, there's been this explosion in conversation about these agents.
I wonder why that is.
I wonder why. But why are they?
But I think their vision of the future may be slightly different.
What's your vision for the future? Let's start with that.
My vision for the future is that this is AI and what it's meant to be. Easy, low cost, and for all of us to be able to change our businesses. And it's not a science project. It's not an engineering project. It's something that you and I can do, and that you're seeing ordinary people get it done. And just like we've shown them how they can build massively scalable systems easily without cost and complexity, we're doing that again with agents. And we're taking our existing customers, of course we already have hundreds of thousands of customers, and what we did was we brought 4,000 of our employees here at Dreamforce to sit with them and just show them, here, do this, do this, do this, and they're going to go back fully enabled and running.
Is it agents versus copilots?
Copilot is kind of a failed idea. This idea that there's some kind of a platform or app that's going to ride along or bolt on your technology that's going to make your company better. And the reality is, it just hasn't worked for customers. You know that. You're one of the top journalists in the world. Who are the 5 companies that you know who have transformed their businesses with copilots and who are raving copilots?
I'm still trying to figure out how to use it all.
So I think that the evidence is there that, we went through a first generation of AI, predictive, deep learning, this idea that we're going to have machine intelligence, and yes, we're going to have next best action, and we have that in Salesforce. It's been great. But then we're going to move into this Copilot world, and by bolting something on, we're going to transform our business, and it has not worked. Because what customers need is the integration of the data and the metadata, which we have on our platform. The sharing model, which we have on our platform. Also, they're going to need the business logic, the workflow, the apps. We have all the apps in our platform, the sales apps, the service app, the marketing app, the analytics app. Tableau is in our platform now. Slack, it's in our platform. And then it just works out of the box.
I saw during your keynote, you used SACs a good amount of times. Holy cow, the ability, I saw the transformation. Everybody says, this is a hype, this is marketing. Well, I'm here to tell you it's not. These things are really working. Full stop. I actually saw it work in front of my face, Marc. It's wild what Saks is doing.
Saks is a massively successful customer of ours. They use our sales cloud and our service cloud and our marketing cloud, even our new cash register. You're
doing hardware now too. I saw that. I saw you slip that in there.
We have everything. Okay. We're running the whole thing. And they're not only just a B2B company, they're a B2C company, they're an amazing company. Okay, but then they got here last night and we're briefing them And we're saying we're going to do Agentforce and this and that. And they're like, show us. And their team worked for a couple of hours last night. And this morning it went live for Saks at scale on Saks.com, Agentforce. That is what Dreamforce and that is what Salesforce is all about. That we want to change customers, make them more efficient, make them more productive, augment their employees, okay? Give them more margins, higher revenues. This is what it's all about, and we're doing that right now.
If co-pilots are failed, do they eventually go away? Is there one winner?
I just think that this idea that you're going to be working with autonomous agents is a more powerful, thoughtful concept inside a platform. You know, it's not just about your customers working with these agents. In the example with Disney, it's their employees that they're delivering a magical guest.
Your favorite place?
Well, it's my favorite place, and it's a magical experience, you know, for their cast members or their employees. And you know, I am the #1 Disney fanboy. I am.
Mm-hmm.
And I go to Disneyland all the time, and everybody should, maybe 4 times a year.
How do you find time for this stuff?
Brian,
I don't get
you're
it.
missing out on life.
Yeah, I really am.
And then I get a Disney guide because I don't like to stand in the lines. And the Disney guides now use, through a little bit of my cajoling and nudging, Salesforce to keep track of all the customer information and Slack to collaborate with each other in the park, because that's a very important part of Disney guides. Because what happens is, it's a theme park. Everything is not running all the time, of course, that's normal. Because safety is #1 for Disney, as it should be. And now my vision and my dream and what I'm trying to have happen, what I hope will happen, is that Salesforce will appear on his phone and go, hey, I need to tell you something. I know you're on tour with Marc. Marc has already seen all these rides and done all this. He's been here 4 times this year. You're on your way to Rise of Resistance, are you? Yes, but it's down right now. You need a new choice. And the cast member says, what should I do? And the agent says, Toontown, A+. And it knows that because it looked across all the parks, California Adventure, Epcot Center, everywhere, and then said, based on flow control, based on current size and safety requirements and getting Marc around and how fast he can walk, we recommend this ride for Marc, and plug him in. And there's no way that the cast member is going to be able to look across all rides and all flow and all consumers and make that choice. But the working, where a human and an agent can work together, and that's my dream for Disney.
Bob Iger, hope you're watching here.
This is really amazing opportunity for Disney, and I love them. Like, I will spend as much of my time working with them as I can. I have for more than 10 years.
Marc, I think I would be the guy. If I saw you in Disney, I would stop and ask you about Agentforce and profit margins. I mean, that's what my life has become at this stage. I just can't shake this stuff. I can't get out of my head. What surprised me, or what surprised me just taking this all in, is like the speed at which all this is developing. Does it feel like things are moving too fast?
No, I don't think things are moving too fast, but I do think a lot of customers are wasting their money trying to DIY it. Too many customers that I've met with personally are trying to DIY this next generation of AI. They're trying to take the model, the database, build a sharing model, build in security, hire a hyperscaler, and build all the framework and try to make it all work. And it reminds me a lot of the beginning of the industry when we started with the cloud, where I saw customers trying to do that with the cloud. And my message in the keynote you heard to all the people in the room and online is, you don't have to DIY this. And I'm going to prove it to you here. And I'm also going to take this show on the road, and I'm going to do an Agentforce world tour, and I'm going to show this to hundreds of thousands of people all over the world.
You're going to every one, right? Every one.
I'm going to every single one, like you should. And this is a great moment to show people you can get much better business performance. You can get better business results if you're using this. And it's going to be true for Saks, it's going to be true for Disney, and it's going to be true for OpenTable and Wiley and Fossil and all the customers who have this already. And look, I was just doing a press conference and I said, guys, Don't believe what we say. Go to the launchpad and meet with the hundreds or thousands of customers one by one and listen to them and watch them hook it up and get their response. Is this better? Because the benchmarks say and the bake-offs say that our AI approach is 2x better in terms of performance and lower hallucinations. So the level of accuracy that we're able to deliver for customers is better. And it's not about a new model or a new hyperscaler or any of this. It's about the approach is different.
The demonstrations I saw had humans working with agents. I put a prompt in. I'm like, I want to ensure Yahoo Finance charts are always working absolutely amazingly. Now, I should say this, they always work amazing. But it helped me set guardrails in real time in Slack to ensure that they're always working amazingly. And it was interesting. It was fast, it was quick, it was responsive, but I was setting the prompts, I was working with it. I didn't get the sense my job was going to be taken away. I would like to think I'm needed in some capacity on camera maybe and in human form, but maybe I'm not. You look at the Saks example in the keynote. Someone named Sophie. Sophie looked human to me, talked human, got a job done. Maybe I'm not needed. I don't know. But this has to impact the workforce, right? At some point.
I think of the example, we just did the Gucci call center in Florence, and we put our best AI in there, and wondering, is there going to be human productivity challenges? What's happening? And those experts, who are customer service experts, also became product experts and sales experts and were augmented, and their revenue went up 30% in the call center with the technology. I think there's a lot of different ways this can go through. You could have more efficiency, you could have higher sales, or maybe if you're a medical institution and you're kind of doing case deflection for your doctors, you're going to fight, doctor and nurse burnout. This is something that we're working very closely with for the world's largest medical institutions. This is super important to me.
What impact do you think AI will have on healthcare? And I got a taste of this. So I went to the Time AI 100 dinner last night.
How was it?
It was great. I spent some time with AMD CEO, Dr. Lisa Su.
Oh, great. Isn't she amazing?
Just
won CEO of the Year from Chief Executive.
Amazing. Richard Soker.
Yeah. Former head of Salesforce Research.
Oh, the guy is mine, but he's the one that got me.
He invented prompt engineering here at Salesforce.
It really wild stuff. He got me thinking on the healthcare impact and how it will shape drug development. Take us through it. You do a lot of work, a lot of charity work, a lot of work in the nation's healthcare system. What do you see? What's the impact?
Well, it's massive, and I'm an investor in an amazing company called Artera. And, look, here in San Francisco, we have an awesome healthcare institution called UCSF, University of California, San Francisco. And in UCSF, we have an awesome urology department, and we have a leader there, Peter Carroll, who's probably one of the foremost authorities in the world on prostate cancer. And he's also a urological surgeon as well. Now, let's say you or someone has to be evaluated for prostate cancer. Are you coming to San Francisco? That's your best case. You're getting with Peter? That's your absolute best case. Okay, but now maybe you're in another country. Maybe you're somewhere else. It turns out what Artera has done is taken that whole data set from UCSF and put it and packaged it in a way that it starts to provide that kind of experience for a urologist, to use this platform by being able to input the scan, the MRI, the labs, the data, asking for all different data, maybe data you don't need that you need to know to have a correct diagnosis. And all these different pieces go into Artera, and then Artera says, yes, this person needs surgery. Yes, this person actually might need support from radiology, and reads a radiology oncologist, or no, this person needs to go on active surveillance. And let's look at all this data again in 6 months. Active surveillance is an idea invented at UCSF. So what is it? And based on the data sets and the history and the trends, the AI, Artera, which just got FDA certified, by the way, is able to augment those urologists. That's amazing. And that is another example of what AI can do. This is what AI is meant to be.
We think we talked about this last year here at Dreamforce. Is your biggest fear with AI still like Terminators and robots? Is that, given how fast things have been moving,
Well, I saw some very scary movies, if that's what you're asking.
Yeah,
written by some of our employees.
Yeah.
One of our employees wrote War Games, and also wrote Minority Report.
Yeah.
They're scary movies about the future.
Well, there was a slide you had on the keynote, the next wave,
Yeah.
robots. Now, you had wave 4 robots, wave 5, augmented AGI? What was it? I think that was it.
Well, there are robots coming, and there is, incredible new companies that are building robot operating systems. I just invested in one of them through Time Ventures. There's all kinds of things happening in the future. The future doesn't equal the present. We know that. So things are going to happen. But look technology is not good or bad. It's what you do with it. And it's our job to guide the technology and set the values and create the trust. Like, hey, I think we were the first company to ever say you need a trust layer. And we built a trust layer into our core AI platform.
First company that I ever heard talk about it.
And we built that last year. That's important for the future of our customers. We know that. And that'll be true also with robots and everybody else. So, yes. And by the way, our platform will drive those robots. That will be a very key part of it.
You made also a very key point. You make this point frequently that you're not selling customer data. Well, there's still social media platforms out there that are using data, and now they have these new large language models, and they're going to better be able to target us to sell products. What do you think about that?
Listen, we are in a new world, and the technology is just awesome.
Yeah.
And all we're doing at Salesforce is making that successful for our customers. Here at the show, you've got tens of thousands of customers and a lot more watching online. And it's the largest banks and insurance companies and media companies and healthcare across the world. And we want to help all of them become more successful using this technology. And I think that that's all I focus on every day, customer success. It's very binary. Is the customer successful or are they not successful? Look, when you fill a room up randomly like we did today with 10,000 people and you're sitting there, we're not tethering you as a reporter. You can go and talk to whoever you want. You can go down and sit down at the launch pad and see, are these agent deployments successful or unsuccessful? This is a critical part of being a leader in the technology industry, to be able to have independent interrogators look at what is possible, what is really happening, what is really going on here, and then say, yeah, this is a hypnosis, you're never going to get this working, or you're seeing a slideshow that you're trying to deploy inside your company, or no, we're going to get this to work for you.
Are regulators able to, how far behind are they? This is election season, and we're not going to go down that route, but I'm getting images and photos on my social media accounts that I don't know if they're the candidates. I don't even know who they are, where they're being created from. It just feels like AI in that case is being used for bad.
The European regulators have been super impressive. I've been very impressed with the EU regulators and the Competition Market Authority as really leading the world in this area. I even went to the UK safety conference. That was the most impressive one I went to. We have a great leader in this country who's coming here for the interview with me tomorrow, Senator Mayorkas. I hope you'll come to the interview because he has led the pioneering way on looking at AI safety in the United States as our chief cop, right? He runs all of our most important security agencies. And it's impressive that he is also leading the AI safety program.
Do they feel behind? Are the guardrails being put in place?
I think that we are doing a lot of the right things, but we don't know necessarily what the wrong things are because the future is still somewhat undetermined.
Mm-hmm. Marc, you're coming up on a big birthday, and I had to get out there.
Brian, what are you trying to say?
No, you're amazing. You're amazing, Marc. You look amazing. We both do. But what's your next 10 years? Like, do you have time to reflect on that? If you're at Disney, have you thought about that? About your life, your career?
I think that, the most meaningful point of the keynote for me was the philanthropy that I've done personally and also what Salesforce has done. We've done 10 million hours of volunteerism. We run 100,000 nonprofits and NGOs for free in our service. Salesforce itself has done more than $1 billion in grants. I've done more than $1 billion of philanthropy. I've got 4 hospitals under development. That's very important to me. A lot of the medical technology and research that I'm interested in is happening, and I feel very fulfilled by that. And I also have a number of environmental programs that are very important to me, including our ocean health program at the University of California, Santa Barbara, and our 1 trillion tree initiative is very important to me. It's been an incredible journey. It's been a lot of fun. There's been some stressful moments, mostly enjoyable. Yeah. And I love it. I love the company. I love the customers. I love the investors. I love all the stakeholders. And it's an incredible, I'll tell you, there's so many subtle parts of the company that are really important to me. I'll tell you one that's not very well reported. This is amazing. So quite a few years ago, I had a couple of executives come to me, female executives, and sat down with me at lunch. And I'm like, I'm going to have a very nice, easy lunch. And they go, listen, you need to listen to me right now. Okay, you're paying men and women differently for different work, in this company. What do you mean men and women differently for different work? No, that's not what we're saying. Men and women who are doing exactly the same job, they're getting paid differently. I'm like, it's not possible. Men and women are getting paid differently for the same work. Is that what you mean? Yeah, that's what you're doing. I said, prove it. They bring out this huge spreadsheet. And I said, here's our data. Look at that. And I was like, wow. Well, we're going to make that change. We made the change. And then a year later, it was wrong again. All of the data had changed. And I'm like, how can this be? I put all the policy in place. It turned out I bought companies where they had the same issue in their company. So then I'm like, no, we're committed to equality in our company. It's a core value. Men and women will get paid equally for the same work. So then I'm like, we're about equal opportunity and equal advancement. That equality is important in our company. Then I did a review of our human resources at Salesforce. And I'm like, is this true? Our HR team is more than 50% women. Our marketing team is more than 50% women. Our finance team is more than 50% women. Our communications team is more than 50% women. And I'm like, wow, this is really powerful. But we're still, between 35 and 40% women. So we're not a 50-50 company. So at some level, I'm like, it's great. We're not the tech bro company as much as we were when we started. We were all tech bros. We're more balanced. We have more gender equality and general diversity. It wasn't very hard to do. It's just opening our eyes and being aware that this is an important part of our future. And look, it's aligned with our value of equality. We believe in the equality of every human being, and we believe in having men and women in our company and treating them the same. That is another exciting part of Salesforce. That's very meaningful work to me.
Well, we appreciate you, one, sharing that story with us, and then always having Yahoo Finance to Dreamforce. I mean, this is a real treat.
I love Yahoo Finance.
Thank you. I personally learned a ton. I always enjoy getting some time with you. So, Marc Benioff, thank you for joining us. We appreciate it.
Brian,
we'll see you
it's
soon.
Always great.
Yeah.
I hope you're going to stay for...
I will be around. I'm going to be around.
Imagine Dragons. Lumineers just played spontaneously outside. There's more spontaneous acts coming.
I'm going to be omnipresent, and if it's not me, maybe it'll be in an agent form. I don't know. We'll see.
Really cool.
All right, Marc Benioff, thank you so much. And that's it for the latest episode of Opening Bid. On the hunt for the hottest market commentary? Then join me, Yahoo Finance's executive editor Brian Sozzi, on Opening Bid, a show with unrivaled insights from top money managers and analysts. New episodes of Opening Bid every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday starting at 8 a.m.